laughing and crying, and also sometimes a sitcom, a good old-fashioned family sitcom. When actress/designer/reality television star Nicole Richie spoke those words Saturday night on a stage at Graceland, she was offering an appreciative, plainspoken summary of the contents of From Here to the Great Unknown, a memoir, the new book by the late Lisa Marie Presley and Presley's daughter, actress Riley Keough. But that mini-review also might be a description of the Richie-hosted event itself, a sometimes tearful and sometimes comedic public conversation between Richie and Keough that became especially raucous after the women were joined on stage by a surprise guest, Lisa Marie's mother and Keough's grandmother, Priscilla Presley. Lamenting her daughter's mid-1990s marriage to Michael Jackson, Priscilla asked Riley, "Did you like Michael?" "I did," Keough replied. "You did?" Priscilla responded. Said Keough, "I was." 6. Billed by Elvis Presley Enterprises as a celebration of the memoir, and Oprah's book club selection released Tuesday by Penguin Random House, the 6:30 p.m. event at the soundstage at Graceland attracted a sold-out crowd of some 1,600 Presley fans, each of whom paid $40 for a ticket to the event and a Keough autographed copy of the book. License plates in the parking lot denoted the presence of fans from Wisconsin, Massachusetts, Texas, Illinois, Alabama, and on and on. Sitting center stage in row E of the venue, Maria Samaniego of Bakersfield, California, said she was inspired to make her overdue first trip to Elvis' home by the chance to hear Keough talk about life as a Presley. "It was my dream to see Graceland," said Samaniego, 62. When Priscilla Presley made her unbilled appearance about 45 minutes into the hour-long talk, the crowd went wild, but perhaps nobody was more thrilled than Samaniego. "I named my daughter Priscilla," she said. The daughter is now 28. The participation of Keough's friend Richie also had not been advertised. The stage setup was similar to that of any public author interview, with the women sitting in easy chairs, angled slightly toward each other, with a small table containing bottles of Mountain Valley spring water between. Making her first visit to Memphis, she said, the 43-year-old Richie is perhaps best known to the general public as the erstwhile best friend of Paris Hilton on the reality series, The Simple Life. But contrary to the diminished expectations that job might suggest, she proved a conscientious interviewer and a savvy reader of the memoir, praising Keough for writing with a level of empathy I have rarely seen between a child and a parent, and delving deep into the book's examination of grief, as felt by Lisa Marie, whose father, Elvis, was 42 when he died, and Riley, whose mother, Lisa Marie, died at 54. "I don't know what closure is," said Keough, 35, speaking of her grief over her mother's death in 2023. "I don't really understand closure, in this context, anyway. People keep saying, like, wow, your family, there's so much tragedy, it's actually a very common story," Keough said, noting that many families have members who have struggled with addiction or died at a young age. At one point Keough looked up and said, "Nicole's crying, I'm supposed to be the one crying." Keough said Lisa Marie always loved Graceland, because even though she did lose her father here, I think that she felt a sense of freedom here and actually a sense of closeness to him here. It's always been a place that's emotionally complicated because there's so much joy and closeness here, but also there's loss as well, but I think that's the experience for a lot of people who come here. Priscilla Presley, who also spoke Thursday during a National Rotary Club conference at the Halloran Center in Memphis, said Lisa loved coming to Graceland as a child because I wasn't here to apply discipline. She didn't go to bed until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. She didn't want to brush her teeth. She didn't want to brush her teeth. She didn't brush her teeth. She ran Graceland. Describing herself as a very proud grandmother, Presley, 79, poo-pooed reports of a rivalry between her and Keough over control of the Graceland estate. Keough is now the owner of the house and grounds. "All the papers that you have read that were battling it out, we can't stand each other, that is not true," said Presley, who moved to Graceland when she was 17 and was married to Elvis from 1967 to 1973. "All those rag magazines, they're making money off of all of these lies." The rag magazines would have paid big money in the 1990s, however, if Presley had been as candid in her disapproval of the Lisa Marie Presley-Michael Jackson marriage as she was Saturday night. Presley said she was unhappy when Lisa Marie met the you-know-who Michael Jackson. She said, "What's wrong with you, why don't you like him? I knew he was a big Elvis fan, I knew why he wanted to marry her." Sure enough, when they got married, she hardly saw him. She would call me up and say, "Michael hasn't been home for 4 days, I don't know where he is." When Lisa Marie told Priscilla she planned to divorce Jackson, Priscilla was overjoyed. "So that was number 2, got rid of," she said, referring to Lisa Marie's 4 husbands. However, she and Riley Keough agreed that number 1, Danny Keough, Riley's father, was not just a wonderful dad but a loyal and supportive person. Even after the divorce, he remained Lisa Marie Presley's best friend, Keough said.
Please subscribe, like and hit the notification button for more videos.